Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. And today we have Keleena Melnar, and it's just, I can read her bio, but I'd rather tell you about my experiences, which have been several since the first time Keleena joined us on Beyond the Ordinary. And her capacity to really tune in and to see, for lack of a better word, multidimensionally and connect to different beings and transmit that energy and to invite me and us into not just the messages that are being shared, but the attunement to a vibrational frequency that we can access when we are in relationship with the facilitation that's coming through these ascended masters, galactic beings, just so many that I don't want to put all of them in a container because who knows who may want to show up today. We have a feeling, Kalina's already told me that some beings are already showing up in the room, but I'll let her share that. And today we're going to be talking about how to transcend times and initiate your Christed ascension. And while that's the foundation of the topic, we're open to the flow because we're here to serve you. And there are beings and facilitation that is really here to serve all of us. And that's including you on this call. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's call. We'll take Q&A later and we'll go into a special offer. But before that, Keleena, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back. And ditto back to you. You're an amazing being yourself. So,
Thank you.
and it's an honor to always be here and flow with you.
I love the way that we flow together. And you had mentioned that there's some beings already flowing with us. You want to introduce them or
Mhm.
how do they want to get started?
Well, they're making me vibrate, so they're probably bringing in. I know one of the things they want me to do is open a channel for everyone, but they are the holy of the holies, is what they're referred to as. And they're like these very high frequency beings that are very much associated also with Egypt. So those that have been in Egypt will understand who they are. They literally are like just a presence, if that makes sense. They're not, they don't individuate themselves. They come in as one ball of light and then they go this way of three of them, but they don't make an appearance with faces. They're just this flowing, massive, it's like a magnetic and electric flow that's a constant balance, but they're just so big and they're vibrant. They're like they illuminate, is what I can say. And they're in the room. They already came in. I was opening up, preparing before we came on, and they're here. There's also a blue being in the corner. Just a second. I just need to ask him to step back for a minute because there's a lot more coming in now.
Mhm.
Okay. 32. 44. They said we will stop there. There's 44 beings in the room. If they go anymore, I'm just going to be like, zzz. So we've got Syrian, we've got the Holy of the Holies, we've got Pleiadian. Okay. There's also a Katurian showing up. We have many masters here as well. And when you were talking, I saw fairies come shooting through the wall. So we've got the elemental kingdom represented as well. And I'm getting so intense with all this energy. They're activating
I
me.
am too. I am too.
Yeah. Can you
My
feel them?
heart and my it up to my throat is just like it's a
Yes.
steady, rapid frequency that's running through me. There's a lot coming through.
Yeah, they want me to go ahead and ooh, I'm gonna go ahead
Mhm.
if that's okay and do the
Yeah,
transmission.
please.
Okay, so if everyone um, would go ahead and just say out loud in your space and place, I now align and drop into my divine sacred heart. Oh my gosh. Okay, focus there. Hands on your lap, palms facing up, open and ready to receive. Tierosta korostnirosta. We wish to acknowledge the presence of I Am that is within all of you. You refer to us as the Holy of the Holies. We represent all that you are, which is a channel of light and love. As we say this to you, in a sacred space, with all that listen and that will listen in the future, we create a channel of light over all of you, through you, and anchored into Mother Earth. Relax in this light. For those of you in pain, you may release in this channel. This transmission will assist. Emotional, mental, and physical. And lift your vibration. And expand your consciousness and awareness of all that you are and have ever been. Sherastin mirstkoi. Fusta urst mirust ar. Ich und aski. Mara on urne. Na hoshaka. Shit. Hey, shasha. Castera and the tatum, but hey, open and release. Manapuana miratan, Yarasuna marapiana kem, Yaraham. Mo. Shh. Adero shinte sikira steresta, mufuta shetera sankiro ut irustein, mahai. Remember who you are. Look! Hui! Sha! Narakuana simia natore tashanturan tiramuru duru 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 duru. Oh, and then and release. All are ready to receive in love.
Mm. Welcome to the show.
Okay. They're all here. We're here.
So I have a question to stimulate some of the energy as well as it was coming through. Um, how many times do we hear the phrase "remember who you are"? Right? We hear it over and over again, and a lot of times I'll pick it up and it's like, yes, and I'm walking with it, and it's an assimilation, and then my ego or my being will get into, but how can I be that? And it's not even a thought. It's like we'll walk next to it, we'll be that, but then there's like this going back down the elevator into, and then we'll go back up and we're invited into it and it's stimulated. It's not that we're not even accepting it. We are. We're receiving the message. But then again, we get back into a different vibrational tone that is not in this beautiful pool that you just took us into, where we get to bathe in the truth of that.
Mhm.
What is it that we can do to hold the frequency that is invited to that transmission for more prolonged periods of time so that the embodiment process can become facilitated?
Very simple answer. I know this, but they all said it all at the same time, is stay in the heart.
Mm,
Because you will see and you will notice throughout your day when you aren't in the heart. And it's when we are reacting to things rather than having the compassionate action, rather than taking action in a loving manner. And I know that you know this, but it's taking that action in a loving manner rather than having a reaction to something that is happening. The moment we do that, we're not aligned anymore. We've gone back out here. And then from there, we're not remembering who we are because we're getting back into that third dimensional reality in a world that's just like, oh, I'm trying to get out of that. How do I? We don't have to fight it, but we just have to be aware of it and then come
mhm.
back in. Simplicity. And that simple thing that I always teach everyone to align and drop in the divine sacred heart gets you in there so fast.
And I think it's beautiful to have the clarification of the redefinition of who you are as to do you have to be the personification or this archetype of a savior or of an ascended light or anything else. And I think a lot of times we get so caught up in the boxes of what we believe or think it should be, that that's also part of leaving the heart. And again, getting back to that center and feeling that and just knowing that from that feeling, that knowingness, everything that you're meant to be is right there.
Absolutely. And when you're aligned, your knowingness is coming online and expanding your awareness, everything, your consciousness, everything expands from here. And that's the most simple thing that humans forget to do.
Mhm.
But it also helps us to transcend our reality.
Hmm. So how does this relate to Christed consciousness and what was coming in as well?
Because Christ consciousness, everybody's got the Christ codes within themselves. They just need to be activated. You just need to remember. I'll keep saying that because it just keeps coming through. But the Christ consciousness is connected here to the divine mind and to the divine heart. The masculine and feminine creates the balance for the Christed child when we activate that voice, that sacred voice. It's all interweaved and interdesigned in who we are and who we've always been. And it gets activated the more you're here and you expand your light and that unconditional love. And a key is unconditional forgiveness.
Mm.
That's a big part of Christ consciousness. And I don't know very many people that say unconditional forgiveness, but
Right.
that's the way the masters taught me. Because we need to forgive and let go of everything. And if we don't do it unconditionally, that's why I like to take people through there to do that. If we don't do that unconditionally, there's still going to be those little pieces hanging out. And you thought that you forgave and you've healed everything, and things are going to pop up.
Mhm.
Right? And that's where you always go, oh, I thought that I already forgave that or did this or that. So the Christ consciousness is the unconditional forgiveness.
Mhm. I've been having a lot of contemplation around forgiveness over the last few weeks and going into, if I will, the contemplation of more teacher mode of the different layers of forgiveness that we navigate here. And, the basis of forgiveness and how it's taught in a lot of different places is to forgive so that you can relieve something within yourself. And it's certainly a starting point. But if we wonder why things keep coming up, why things keep repeating, why that thing isn't complete with whatever we're trying to forgive, it's because again, that was only the beginning, truly, um, to get to that unconditional place.
It's forgiving the self.
Mm. And forgiving the other unconditionally, not with hooks.
Both.
Hmm.
Absolutely, because we're all one anyway. That person or whoever the situation, it's all a reflection of us. And so we have to always forgive others and forgive ourselves because
Mm.
we're all one anyway. If we
Mm.
don't do it, we're still stuck in that loop.
Yeah. And we create boundaries with our forgiveness, and boundaries are harsh. Boundaries don't allow the fluidity. They actually put us in the prison that we're hoping to keep other people encased in as well. So it
Yeah,
has a counter effect.
I agree. It's a different levels of your own fear prison.
Hmm.
That's how I see it. It's like you're trapped in your own fear. So if you're putting a boundary around for something to keep yourself safe from someone or something someone says or whatever, we're not allowing the flow of everything that has to happen so that we can actually transcend things. Because when we let that go, and so, let's say something comes up, like just to give you an example. So I was publicly attacked by a family member
Mm. Oh, wow.
today. But for me, it was like, oh. So for me, there was no reaction, but there was the compassionate action. I see where this person is.
Mhm.
They're not awake. So it's allowing me to transcend, anything that would be coming at me. But also I'm sending back love and hoping that in their reality they receive it. And that
Mhm.
way, that helps transcend not just ourselves, that's the unconditional forgiveness and the unconditional love, but that helps the transcendence of many realities that are in between. That's how my guides show me. There's so many different realities in between what just happened, if that makes sense. Because they show
It
me timelines.
makes a lot of sense. And what you're bringing up is I love the visual that I'm getting in this also because as you're holding that place of compassion, you're not putting up the walls. Actually, what you're doing is you're choosing to walk, remembering who you are. Anytime you put up the walls, anytime you're in defense, anytime you're in a vigilant state, when we do the forgiveness with boundaries, even though we don't think we're doing it for that, but the initial stages of forgiveness, the way that it's been taught a lot in these circles of these type of communities, it it prevents you from remembering who you are because you're walking with hesitancy, you're walking with a vigilance, you're holding a space for that you believe harmed you to reharm you. And one of the quotes from um, The Art of War, a famous book about how to live life, is the leader who fears war invites it to his doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
And if we create the
Exactly.
boundaries that way, we can't help but to recirculate it.
Exactly. And as you're talking, I'm getting visions. That's how I work.
I'm
I'm
doing the
being
same thing
given.
with you, which is great. Yeah.
Okay. So, what they were showing me is, I'm just kind of losing it here. Um, we tap into go back to the third dimensional reality timeline. when we're doing that stuff rather than staying on our divine Christed timeline, that Christed essence that we are, that feminine, masculine Christ consciousness. When we go that other way, we're not aligned with that. So we're not in that activated state of the, again, of the unconditional love and the unconditional forgiveness. But each time we do that, though, John, we're being taught something.
Mm, beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. There's always a lesson.
So I'm curious why this conversation is coming up at this moment for us on this call.
There's a lot going on this
Yeah.
planet. There is so much going on this planet where if we can take the collective more into here, into the heart-based reality, then, we can change that consciousness of the planet in that, in a collaboration. It's so important. You remember when we were talking just before like a week or so before the election, and I was telling you they kept showing me, I've seen thousands of timelines and I didn't know why they were showing all these to me.
Right. Yeah.
That's like still going on, but not for, I'm feeling someone's throat, sorry. I'm feeling somebody's throat.
Me too.
Uh, so when all of those timelines were going by, they were like thousands. And when we were talking, the epiphany came in that what was happening was I was seeing the collective's negative thoughts on their creation with it. And those timelines needed to be, what my guide said, thwarted. And for 3 days before the election, what I was doing sitting here was dropping in the heart space and watching those timelines come through and just like filling them with each one of them with love, even though it's not mine, but it is mine because we're all one, right? And just filling with love. And I literally would see it melting. And it was just melting. And as they were melting, I kept seeing that blank slate get bigger and bigger. And they would go back, I would send it back to source, to pure probability and dissolved in love. And what was happening is on that slate said God consciousness. And so source is basically taking over. And what I heard loud and clear is whoever was going to be there was going to be for the highest good in this moment of time.
Mm.
For this timeline we're on.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
we don't know how long that timeline lasts.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They change all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So rather than attach to a particular theme of a timeline, knowing how with an awareness of the investment that we have in it emotionally, what can we do to be more fluid with the changing tides that are actually happening right now?
Mm. Well, one of the things we also have to remember is that everything's quantum.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't talk a lot about quantum because I don't know the science behind it, but it's about vibration and frequency, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stay in that. We need to stay in that higher vibration and frequency and allow the shift of everything that needs to occur to occur. I'm just letting them speak for me right now and let everything that's going to occur because each person is getting a lesson at the level, the vibration and the frequency that they are desiring for their experience in this moment of time.
Mm. God, so much throat stuff's happening with me on this
I
call.
know, I feel some. Do you mind if I do a throat clearing really quick?
Please do.
Because,
I feel in my
yeah,
upper chest and throat so strong. So
I
let's
feel
do that.
somebody.
I need to take a drink as well.
It's choking me.
Real powerful
All right.
call. God.
Okay. No offense to anyone. This
Yeah.
happens. But somebody's got some throat chakra stuff. Also, I'm feeling their solar plexus. So if everyone can just again go ahead and put your hands, palms facing up on your lap. I'm just going to do a quick throat clearing. And if I ask everyone to cough afterwards, you need to force yourself to cough. It's going to help it move out. Okay, everybody, go ahead and force yourself to cough. Do you feel it moving, John?
I'm sweating.
Did you feel that leave?
It's
Cecil,
definitely
tiki ano uta terasta und mur und nera estekirasta am urste. And I'm just going to ask the listeners to continue to cough again, please. Don't go. Literally force yourself to cough. There it goes. The solar plexus part is still coming up. Ugh. Sorry, excuse me. I could feel it.
I'm having the same thing.
Ugh. All is well.
It is strong on this call today. It is good. Wow, Keleena. Keleena, I'm guided to ask you about the blue being.
The one in the corner.
I'm guided to ask.
So the blue being is actually Syrian, and there's three here now. There was the one in the middle that seems to be taller than the two that, but you know what? They're standing like a formation. Like there's one, and then there's the two to its side. Let me see if it will give me anything. We represent the frequencies that you will be speaking at tonight. And to assist with the languages, there are several languages that are coming through, but also to bring the codes of transcendence at another level. And for you to understand the blue that was spoken days ago, that was specifically for you. And to connect with the truth, the wisdom, the power and justice of being a human based in a heart space reality. We assist your planet in transcending fear. Do you feel this leave? Yes. Let it go. And there are many of us that represent your Egyptian past. We come here to proceed, to express, and to allow the evolution through us with you. We light the words of encouragement as you step in your truth and clarity. And expand the third eye awareness. May you understand transcendence is transformation, not just of one timeline, but of many at once. Be not that you wish not to be, but be that you wish to be. And just be. I's got crossed.
It is so fascinating. Every time I get with you, it's like these other visions start coming in, and I have to share. And again, I don't typically share like this on these calls, but it's just unmistakable. No, it's undeniable. S- So, as you were translating for us, Keleena, I kept having these visions of the pyramids in Giza and these dolphins jumping over the pyramids. And as they kept sharing, and my forehead was throbbing from the activation. And then a dolphin being was in front of the pyramid talking to me.
Mm.
I didn't quite get the translation, but I got that I would get what it was sharing. Um,
Was it Atlantis or was it Egypt?
oh, good question. That was Atlantis. Thank you.
Yeah. Because the Sirius is the water planet, Sirius B, and that's where the
Seriously, yeah.
stations are. Yeah. Um, and I remember, do you remember being able to communicate with the dolphins and the whales?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's what you're picking up.
hmm
I'm like super hot from these beings.
And, I'm sharing all this, well, full transparency. Not that I hold back, um, but really give yourself. Let's give all ourselves permission to see in ways that aren't standardized, aren't the ways that creativity and the vision and it just open to the creativity of the intelligence that's coming through you because it's powerful.
Yeah, they're dropping codes,
hmm
is what they do. So they drop those codes to activate your divine intelligence, they just said, which is what you just, I mean, you just received all that.
Oh yeah,
Still feeling someone.
me too. It's strong. It came back. It's strong.
Yeah.
It's strong. Maybe let's open up to some Q&A and see what comes through on that as well. Because there's a lot of high transmission that's coming through right now that do you want to say hi or do you want to ground a little bit first before we take calls?
Oh, you want me to ground? Okay.
No, no, you don't have to. I'm asking if you want to. I'm okay either way. Um, this is such a
Okay,
fluid
I'm
call, right?
grounded.
Okay, amazing. All right, I'm gonna start promoting people to panelists here. Um, and we'll start getting into a little bit of Q&A. A lot of y'all are starting here. Barbara, why don't you unmute yourself and turn on your video? I just promoted you to panelist. Um,
Hi.
hi.
I thought I was over my fear. Uh-oh. And my speaking issues. That's hilarious.
I'll get you, Barbara.
So I was going to ask, is it me that one of the ones having the throat issues? Because I didn't think it was. But just, hearing me now, it's like I must have been one of the ones. So I was accepting the clearing and I felt the clearing and I assumed it was cleared. So have I still got more stuff to clear? Because I'm speaking tomorrow and Saturday to live, and I was good with that, John. I've accepted that, by the way. I'm good with that.
You do have something there. We'll get it.
Sorry.
Well, and I want to say something about that also. When that comes up, it's not that we're doing something wrong. I would actually invite you to believe that you're doing something right.
Yep.
That this
Okay.
is coming up because it's you're becoming of a vibration that is ready to release something that's in denser form. So it's like not I made a mistake, I'm not good enough, there's something wrong with me. It's like, oh, this is coming because I've I've come to a place to have enough of a relationship with this where this can transform now. So please, y'all, can we
Yeah.
please reframe these
Yeah.
things and
Okay.
and unconditional forgiveness, please.
Mhm. It's
Mm.
it's always a good thing. Um,
Mhm.
because you're just as the codes are getting dropped and the vibration and frequency is coming through me, it's penetrating you to bring those things up. so they can be revealed to be healed is what I call it. So yeah, what I feel on you is literally my whole side of my right side of my mouth, the back of my tongue is numb with you. Like it feels like it's bigger than the other side, and it's all coming up on this side of you. It's on your masculine side. So um I'm just gonna tune in and see. Oh wow.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Barbara, close your eyes.
Mhm.
Take a breath. And I want you to focus on their throat. And I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. And this isn't to scare anyone, but when my guides give me this stuff or when the beings are giving me things, I need to give this to you so that you can transcend it. Because this could be more than one timeline that you've been on. There's literally a very thick rope. It's like a thick rope, not a smaller one, a thick one around your neck. And that's what I'm seeing. And the guides just said sailor's knot, so I don't know what that is. There's a sailor's knot.
Mhm.
They said that puts it into a space or a time space reality. Let me put my crystal down. Okay, just focus there. And in your highest love, be in your heart, in your highest love, your highest unconditional love, and unconditional forgiveness for the situation or the event that occurred and created a trauma within you. Are you willing to let this go and release this back to source, dissolved in love for pure probability?
Yes.
Allowing yourself to transform, to move more into higher light.
Yes.
Allowing yourself to become more of who you are as the angelic being that you are,
Yes.
with no fear. Thank you. How is that feeling?
Well, let's hear me talk. No frog.
Yeah, it's better, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just shown that you just saved me 5 years. Like that would have taken me 5 years to get rid of, and you just did it really
Okay, well,
fast for me.
Spirit works through
Thank you.
me, and you saved yourself 5 years because you heal yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a
Thank you.
surprise. Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much, all of you,
welcome.
everybody.
I love that it's a
Oops.
surprise. Again, that's what Keleena and I show up to the call. It's like, what are we talking about? It's like, we don't know. We're in flow. If we show up with expectations, we can slow down the timeline.
Mhm.
If we show up in the flow, what's ready to come through, we allow for that possibility. Not getting in the way as much because we are human. We're going to get in the way a little bit, but we're also going to facilitate with an open heart and dropping into that, which is beautiful. Hey,
Thank
Chris,
you.
do me a favor and put the link for the special offer in the chat box, y'all. We're going to get into the special offer in a little bit, but to dive into these energies and these frequencies and these activations and attunements and understanding with Keleena, oh my God, it's powerful. And it feels like home, to be honest with you. Like those parts of me, it's like, finally. I found that landing space, and it's, again, so beautiful. We're going to get into a special offer in a little bit. But first, I want to take a call from Caroline. Hi, Caroline.
even know the video was working until I raised my hand, so I'm so excited. Keleena. Oh my
Hello,
God.
Caroline.
Hi, it's such an honor to be speaking to you directly. So I would like to know
Mm.
if there is something I need to do to activate my gifts, like remove a blockage or something, or it's just divine timing and I need to be patient.
Okay, so as you're going through your healing process and doing your inner healing, the screen keeps moving. As you're going through that, you're transcending, right? We are transcending timelines as we're healing ourselves because the things that come up to be healed are connected in our DNA and our cell memories from so many other lifetimes. They're showing themselves in this lifetime again. They're being presented in different ways so we can finally have that final clearing. And as we release that stuff, we make space for our authentic being to expand and come online. So it's about you going inward and doing your inner healing, doing that inner work. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I've been doing that 2.5 years straight.
Mm-hmm. Well, fantastic. You got about 25 more to go. Just kidding. Just kidding. I like to do that, people. We're we're in acceleration right now, so just stay focused. But the other thing is you can be activated to have certain modalities turn on. So things that you have done in your other lifetimes. But I also want to say, go back to childhood and focus on what you loved to do that took you away. Everything disappeared and it was just you and that one thing you loved so much deeply in your heart. It took you into another world. When you do that, you're going to have memories of what you came here to do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
And I want to say, don't think about it.
Mhm.
Drop in the heart and feel and let it come forward. Because I have a lot of people that they go start thinking and they're like, well, I liked to read and I like, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Let's feel this here. And then all of a sudden, whoo, they start expanding and remembering. And it leads them right into what they're here to do, to activate the abilities. But you've got to heal first. You've got to keep working on that inner healing.
Mm.
It's a journey.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Keleena, what is something that you can suggest so that we don't get so preoccupied with time and can actually be in the flow of what's unraveling? Because the time preoccupation puts us in suffering and has a tendency to stop the flow of your connection of the messages and the activations that are coming through. So anything to facilitate more grace and peacefulness and patience. I don't even want to use that word patience because that's time sensitive as well. But but knowing, even the just knowing who you are and trusting that knowing is guiding you.
Also, I mean, meditation is one of the biggest things that stops time.
Mm,
Because when you go into that space and place in that reality, it actually stops aging too.
mm,
So everything is timeless in meditation. And in meditation, you're going to get all kinds of answers to a lot of different questions that have come in from the third dimension reality, from that ego going, I want to be over here like this person, but I'm over here right now. Just tune in and drop in that heart and meditate, and you're going to start having. And if even if you don't see in meditation, some people will start seeing, some people don't see at all. But allow yourself to receive the feelings and the synchronicities and the knowingness of things.
mm.
Let the clarity come in. But there's where you're timeless in that space and place.
Beautiful. All right. Blessings to you, Caroline. You've got this. You've
Thank
got
you.
Yeah. Keleena, I want to go into a special offer, and the special offer is amazing, y'all. We're talking about healing with ancestral star lineage. There's a high frequency DNA code activations, and again, we're going to get to that in a little bit. But since we're talking about meditation, Keleena, I want to share my experience, and maybe other people are having something similar. I don't know. But when I go into my meditations, sometimes I want to stop them short or cut them off because it's moving so fast that I feel like I'm getting dizzy. It's like my body's trying to keep up and my mind's trying to keep up. Um, with how quickly I am sensing the energy moving in that still space. Can you give me context maybe for what might be going on? It's almost like I'm jumping in the pool and I don't want to stay under too long because I feel like I've been in there too long already, even though I just got in. Um,
So the one thing that I just heard is what's your fear?
hmm,
So that would be for you specifically to answer. But the other thing is your Merkaba is being activated when your meditation, because that's what they're showing me.
okay.
So
So
that's
this,
the
hmm,
I've had that too, and I feel like I'm literally going to lift off the planet. It starts
yeah,
going so fast.
yeah.
So in meditation, yeah, that's what's happening. And
I'll
then,
drop it. I'll
yeah,
drop in what's my fear. Okay.
yeah, see what that is.
Hmm.
But
Mm.
if I were you, now that you know, I would just stay in it and see if you take off.
I've been staying in it as long I've been staying in it until it subsides, but it's like, okay, what's the hesitancy? Okay, why is it so much? And
Mhm.
I don't leave it. And that's the thing, y'all. It's wonderful that we can become so familiar with our bodies and attune with it that we don't have to leave an activation or a process like that for the fear of our physical well-being. And I know in these spaces that I'm giving what I can handle, uh,
Mhm.
and that it's going to be okay. So
Um,
I'll ride the waves as best that I can.
can I add something? Because the blue beings are talking.
Yeah.
Um, there were the times and spaces in our different civilizations where also, remember, we went through a lot of um, the steps to enlightenment. We had to go through those tests.
Mm.
Okay. And in some of those tests, there were failure. It was all trial and error. And what they're showing me and what they're saying is there's a memory code coming in for you of trial and error and what a third dimensional reality would deem as failure is what they're
Mm.
saying. So look and see, because they're giving that to you, if there's something with that that comes forward.
Beautiful. That's actually really resonant for me. Thank you.
Okay.
Um, yeah, let's get into a special offer, even though I'm feeling this throat thing coming back up. I don't know if you're feeling it, Keleena. Uh,
Uh-huh.
it's there. Um, but maybe sometimes we just have to allow it to be there for a little bit instead of clearing it right away. Um, and sometimes the intelligence of it will navigate out with the facilitation and the push that's already been given to it. So before we address it again, if you feel we need to address it, Keleena, why don't we get into the special offer? The link for that is in the chat box. It's highlighted in blue. Um, click on that. You can also find the page by opening up a new browser and typing in beyondtheordinaryshow.com/Keleena34. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can click on the special offer button. Or if you're on the social media post, just look in the comments box and you'll find the link there as well. Uh, and Keleena, $111 for what you're putting together here. And your work is just absolutely phenomenal. Um, but healing ancestral star lineage, guide us through what everybody's going to be taken into.
Ooh, that's amazing. Um, the ancestral star lineage, it's the different, I want to say eras
Hmm.
that and the time and space that spanned over thousands of years. And there were experiences from, let's just take, for example, the Pleiadian experience on the planet, which was it's kind of where a lot of people are right now, which is the money thing and the greed thing and the materialism and those things that have been going on for how many thousands of years when that took over. So what we do is you're going to have to transcend that timeline within you that's coming from that experience, from that ancestral star lineage that came here as an experiment.
Hmm.
So these star lineages had their own experiments to have experiences, for the humans to have their experiences to come through. And so the actual course, it's like a 2-hour course, is to help you to transcend those. There's specific things in there and specific codes that all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, that's why I do that. That's why I do that. Or that's why this keeps coming back to me. So it's going to trigger a lot of stuff. There's different ones. There's Lyran, there's Draco, there's Syrian. So that's what it's going to do. It's really powerful, and it will help you to get to the root of things, of why things keep continually coming up for you.
Wow. So again, we go into healing the ancestral lineage, 2.5 hour recorded spiritual mastery class. And then you're also taking people into the high frequency light language DNA key code activation. What is happening there?
Oh, in that video? Or did you mean the thing that just flew by?
Well, now that you talked about the thing that flew by, let's talk about that, then we'll go into the video.
It looked like a bird.
Wow.
It just popped in this way and it went shoo, and like the energy of it just pulled my whole arm back. Yeah, but that came in when you were talking. There's all kinds of fun things on Earth, isn't there? It's an activating video with codes in there that takes you to higher frequency and vibration that can be used all the time to help you when you're falling out of your heart space and you need to realign. And you can listen to it over and over because the language of light is nonlinear. So each time you have something that's coming up that might need to be healed, revealed, you can use it over and over.
Beautiful. One thing that you wrote on this activation, and I think this is imperative, is to make sure that we ground, yes, but the second part is so important for me right now, and that you give yourself time to receive.
Absolutely.
Really, just it's sacred time right now. Things are moving so fast, and the more that you can slow down to integrate how everything
I
is moving through
agree.
you. Mm-hmm.
I agree that you need to slow down. But the other thing I want to say is don't do all the things at once. When people buy packages, they're like, I'm going to listen to this and this and this and this one all in one day. And that's not what you're supposed to do. You listen to one, you give yourself 2 weeks to allow it to integrate. The same when I put videos on YouTube, give yourself that time space to allow it to, because what it does is it goes to the DNA at the cell level, and you need to immerse yourself in it and allow it to integrate so that you can have the transformation, the transcendence that needs to happen. If you do
Beautiful.
too much, you're going to get burnt out.
Well, and we don't realize we're tired until we burned out. So that's an important distinction. How long is this video? What are people receiving in this? Is it a long class? Is it broken down into several?
Which one? The first one? The
The
Ancestral?
second one, the DNA key code activation.
No, it's just, I think it's maybe 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. So it's
So,
powerful. So it's meant to be listened to over and over again, but with time to receive.
yeah, you can use it anytime.
Wonderful. And then y'all are getting a 7-day membership for levels 1 through 3. But there's so much in these 7 days. Will you explain a little bit more about what the membership experience includes and what people can access while they're there?
It's the Patreon. So it depends. If you choose level 1, you're only going to have access to the level 1 Patreon. If I were you, I would choose level 3.
All
I'll
three,
just tell
yeah.
you outright. Because level 3 is actually a healing, quantum energy healing level, and a Q&A. So you can ask a question and go through healing, and they are about 2 to 3 hours is how long it goes for me with everyone. But then you have access to level 3, level 2, level 1, and the videos that are already there from my previous months and stuff. And there's like, I think 1,500 videos on my
So could we download
stuff.
those so that we can access them later? They're all on the Patreon page. Okay.
Yeah, they don't allow that. It just stays that way.
Okay. I just wanted to see what people can access. And so this will be a live call that people will be able to go on to, and then recordings afterwards.
Yeah, there is. So if you do it, I think my next I think I have a live this weekend. So if they joined it now, they would be able to be on the live, and it's a Zoom call on Patreon, and they'd be able to participate and see what it's like. And it is, I can't remember if it's level 2 or 3. That's going to be happening this weekend, but they're very powerful. And
I was gonna say what you're bringing through, it could be level one. It's like so active. Especially, well, what I'm also am aware of is that we're meeting each other in these spaces, and you're bringing the level of frequency that you're at, and then it's whoever's bringing there's this attunement that's happening, and again, it's happening so quickly. I mean, look how quickly we dropped into today's call. We didn't get into well, small talk for us is not really small talk, but still, it's just, we went all out from the very beginning. Uh, and so I'm aware that that's what happens in these gatherings with you.
yeah, when you just are aligned and you allow your authentic self to just, do what you're here to do, it just boom, it's just going to present.
Beautiful. Yeah, the special offer is $111. There's a two payment option. If it doesn't resonate at all, which I highly doubt, but I'll put it out there, there's a 30-day absolute money back guarantee. So there's nothing to even worry the mind about, other than if you're just one of those people who procrastinates returning something that they don't like, but that's on you. But the offer is
Well,
there.
even if they return it, they're going to have a shift anyway because they listened to
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. Regardless, the shift is happening.
So don't get that crazy idea. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the link for the special offers in the chat box. Click on that, read through it if you need to, buy it now, get access to the recordings, and happy journeys on that. I'm excited to be able to present this and that we're here with Keleena to be able to offer this. And Keleena, let's open up some more Q&A if that's all right.
Mhm.
Okay, so Rochelle Walter, welcome to the call.
Hello, thank you. I've just this whole call I've been very, very just loopy, just like you. So
Okay, you need to ground.
yes,
Do you know how to do that really quick?
uh,
I'll just tell you.
okay,
How's that?
yes,
Everybody can do it. Just focus on your lower back, right at the tailbone where the root chakra is. Just close your eyes and put your energy there. Take a deep breath. You need to relax, the guides are saying. And just say, I am grounded.
all right,
Feel your energy moving?
yeah, yes.
There you go.
All
Now
right.
it's centering you.
I have been actually through one of John's other guests, really working on releasing ancestral, or healing ancestral, sending it to the light, transcending back. But I'm wondering if there's more, there's probably always more work to be done with that. But I keep hearing next steps, like just expansion of next steps. So is there any clarity? I know I'm responsible and have choice and co-creation, but is there something that would help me right now where I am or for the good of the group?
I'm just going to tell you what I keep hearing for you. I keep hearing residual.
Mm.
Are you looping something, a pattern or something? Pattern in a behavior? Because this is what they're showing me.
It could be. I've been working a lot on releasing that. But I'm a teacher and patterns keep coming up with students.
It's a reflection.
Right, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guides are saying that's
Yeah.
mainly it that you have to focus on is breaking down those patterns which create behaviors
Okay.
within yourself.
Okay.
So, and every healer that does work, our clients are always a reflection of something of us. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
Mm.
I get your throat right there.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
really, it's hurting me.
Mm.
Do you feel it?
I was coughing right before this, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, force yourself to cough. Let it go. Back to source dissolved in love and back to pure probability. Kut mirost am irasa. All is well. Something expanded in your solar plexus too. So
Yeah.
just so you know, there's a little control going on there of wanting to control the outcome of things.
Ah, okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. They're saying that's all they're delivering.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
It's a lot of stuff though.
I
When
know.
even that little thing, it's a lot.
Yes. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Rochelle. Keleena, I'm curious your awareness or your take on it. It's I love the programs we offer on BTO and the facilitation and to help to bring more clarity. But if we there has to be a point of discernment when we're searching for the bad things so much that we're not really taking what we've built upon, the positive things, and really moving forward. And we can get stuck in a circular loop instead of spiraling through our evolution if we're so caught up in and trying to find the dust in the corner of the room that we're not going on the super highway because we're searching for something that if we just go on the path, it will catch up with us. It will reveal. We don't have to be the perfection of the luminosity, but we can allow the perfection of the luminosity to emanate through us instead of trying to control how it's amplified.
It's also what I'm hearing is that seeking for things that we think are an issue in a situation, but actually the things that you've been presented with multiple times that you're avoiding are what we should actually allow the focus on being.
I've never done that.
Okay.
Sometimes you just don't want to look over there because it just doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
Or
there's a discomfort in it because we would have to face it.
Mhm.
But the more we face it, the discomfort eases. And I would rather get rid of that discomfort and have it gone than let it keep lingering and keep searching for something else. Well, it must be because my Aunt Mary said this to me, or, you know, whatever. Allow everything that's coming to you and being shown to you in synchronicity. And from that space and place, when you receive it, have that aha moment, the light bulb, and the luminosity, and allow it to just fade and dissolve and transcend into the nothingness and back to the probability.
Beautiful. Rochelle, thank you so much for bringing this up for all of us. And be selfish. I know you said it for the group also, but take it on for you. This is for you, love. All right, let's continue. Christine, welcome to the call.
Hi, thank you for calling on me.
Hi, Christine.
Hi, Keleena. I just really wanted to connect with your energy. I've been on this spiritual path for probably about 4 or 5 years and really trying to heal myself and come into my power.
Mm.
And I recently was made aware that I would like to empower women to rise up and accept their rightful place in society. It's a big job for me, but I'm happy to step up.
Okay, Mela, first you have to accept yourself at all levels, they're saying, which you haven't done yet. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and we cannot empower others until we do that. But when you reach a specific vibration and frequency, even though you may have healed and accepted everything, you can start that. But you've got to get to that space and place first, because otherwise you will keep people in a vibration and frequency that's not allowing them to expand the consciousness or come into their power. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you have got to come into your own power first and be empowered. That's actually a lot of stuff I do with women, is to empower them. But it comes with changing what you think about yourself.
Mm.
And don't say, oh, I think I don't know, I don't have anything bad. Because a lot of people say that and I go, well, what about when you thought this the other day? And they're like, how did you know that I thought that? Because they give me the information. But these thoughts come from negative traumas, spaces, realities, states of being, they're saying. And we have to allow ourselves, again, like before, allow ourselves to see them and feel them, let it come to the surface. Because there's a lot of trauma behind some things, and they're not just from this life. Okay? They're
Yeah.
in your cells. They're in that DNA and those cell memories. You've got some things in your cell memories that still haven't come up yet. Oh, here I go. This is the information flowing. You've got a lot in the cells, but they're also affecting here. Do you
Well,
understand
it's
this?
been a very emotional year for me. I went through a divorce after 43 years, and my children, and specifically my daughter, has not been accepting of my path. So it's made it very difficult to try to move past that.
Okay. And were you on earlier when I talked about how I was attacked publicly by family? Right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So when we take it into our heart and we don't judge the judgment, right? We can stay neutralized in neutralized territory and see and observe where they are. But there's still part of you that's still not having full self-love and compassion for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
You're still healing. You've got another year, they're saying, of healing from this. They're calling it trauma for you. Okay, you're awakening and what you've just gone through. But like John said earlier, slow down. We're in acceleration, but take that space for you and slow down, ease into it. Don't try to push things forward too much. If you do, you're not, again, like I said, you're not going to be empowering anyone. Make sense?
Well, I would love to be able to embrace this to the best of my ability.
Focus on you. Right now, in this moment, focus on you. And you're going to see how you're going to transform. And you're going to light up a room when you walk in.
Beautiful. Hey, Christine, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
If it wasn't your job to fix or heal anybody, to hold somebody else's judgment so that they can heal themselves, if that wasn't your job, like if that was complete, what would you be excited about?
Just loving people.
Allow that to be your inspiration every day when you wake up in the morning, and allow the awareness of that to be the blessing that you go to sleep with at night, and do it as an intentional practice for the next 21 days and see how your heart shifts, how you become uplifted, how you swim in the frequency of that love that you know that you are. And I guarantee you that the shifts will be felt in your family as well. I guarantee it. But you'll feel it for yourself first.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Come back and listen to this and carry it forward.
Yeah, you attract what you are.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Blessings to you, Christine.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay, let's continue. Some questions in the chat box. I'll get to you all later. Mickey, let's go to you. Mickey, before you unmute, before you ask your question, what are you picking up on, Keleena?
Oh, I've got codes coming in. Can you tell?
So Mickey, before you come on, let's pause and let's give space for what's flowing in.
I just have a transmission. Tusha. Kor. Som. Mai. Am. Pirch ushta. kami. Sut karashta.
Mm.
Nusanara Yanatama Ananakirete Shtesida Pura Nama Aka. Amor.
Mm.
That feels good.
I love when you come up that way.
Oh, all right.
What are you feeling?
It was like a cleansing of like deep layers on everyone. And then boom, there's the heart energy just expands and it clears everyone's channel all the way up. And for me, I just expand in that living, that Christ consciousness, that God consciousness that's out in the void where you're just like floating around and everything is beautiful. That's why I laugh all the time. It's like the laughing Buddha, you know, because that's the feeling that I have with it. I can't do anything but laugh. It feels so good.
Oh, amazing. Thank you
That's what it
for bringing those codes in for us. Yes.
is. Yes, of course.
All right, Mickey, let's go to you now.
Thank you so much for this tonight. That was super beautiful. At first, my heart was started to pound really fast, but then it opened up quite a bit.
Expanded.
So it was very good. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I am it's almost like a question more about what are my next steps.
Mhm.
I keep getting a million different steps, and I'm not normally like that. So it takes a lot of energy for me to stay on the path.
Why?
Was that a question?
Mhm.
Okay.
There's beings are
Uh,
talking.
okay.
Feel. Don't go in your head.
Because when I do the work that I do, which is traveling around the world, shifting the earth grids, I'm not always sure. Sometimes I know what's done and what's good, and sometimes I don't know.
Mhm.
So I want to be better at that.
Do you need to know everything that you're doing?
No, I don't.
Are you happy with that?
Not all the time.
Precisely. It's because you are not aligning in the heart space. The ego is desiring an answer. You understand what we are saying?
Yes.
So if you know that you have accomplished what you went there to do, you can continue to leave. Sometimes, we are going to say this for all of you that do grid work, you aren't meant to know everything that you may have just cleared up, activated, because many times there was a lot of death in the process of that area from different civilizations, and it may not have been the prettiest sight. And in order for you to stay in a higher frequency, why would we give you the lower frequency vibration of the existence that was for you to see it and hold on to it? Because what's going to happen is it will be at that third dimensional level of your thoughts. Does this make sense?
That makes complete sense.
So if you can let it go, a term all of you use on this earth, it will be much easier for you to continue your work and your journey in trust.
Mm.
Keyword is trust.
Precisely.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Can I give you a couple of other keywords?
Welcome.
Yes, please.
Fun and play and joy. Fun and play and joy. When I'm called to different places, even where I live, I know I'm called here for a reason. But I know a tiny fraction of what it is that I'm truly doing here. But I'm also in gratitude for where I get to be, everywhere, every time. I'm aware, and I also am aware that I don't really know. And so how amazing. And then we get to have conversations with Keleena, and we get to drop together, and we get to kind of weave our knowings in a way that helps to kind of relax into an awareness that even though we might not know specifically, we know that it's serving. We know that something's opening up in our hearts. We know that we're connecting to our star lineage and to our ancestors. And the gift of that, I don't need the justification of what I'm healing for the collective if I'm even doing that, which I believe I am. But it all comes through from the foundation of love that I'm able to receive. And from my receiving, I can expand it from my being to be even more of service. And so it's such a
Thank you.
beautiful alchemy that we get to navigate. And I just wanted to share that with you from my personal experience in that work. It's
Yeah,
enjoy it.
yeah. And take advantage of the different places that you're taken to. I've been taken all over the globe as well, and there's such beauty in it. There's so much beauty in it. And the
I got triggered by a friend that I respected who said, "How do you know you're doing anything?" And then I got triggered.
there
So
you go.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but which is good because then it just helps me to become more trusting, more fun, more in play,
Well,
Yeah.
more.
I would ask your friend, how do you know that you're even asking me this question right now? It's
But
the
also,
same question.
it is. But also, when people do that, it should empower you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you.
I make you
Thank
blessings.
you. Thank you
Blessings.
for your
Let's-
work.
Yeah. Thank you for
Welcome.
acknowledging that, Keleena. Powerful. Okay, so Caroline was on earlier. I'm going to answer it a little bit first, Keleena, then I'd love for you to expand on it. Um, Caroline Rose, that I guess I need to heal my abundance to be able to take advantage of this deal. The 25 years that you mentioned earlier felt discouraging a bit to me. And Caroline, you're looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm telling you that every step along the way is amazing and magical. And the more that I get to discover myself along that 25, 50,
Mm-hmm.
5,000 year journey, if we take that into account, and so much more, the more grateful I am for the steps that I've taken to get there, because it's been amazing so
Yeah.
far. It's been amazing so far. So don't dread. There you go. Thank you. I couldn't say it. Don't dread the journey to get to that place. Embrace it.
Yeah.
What would you say to Caroline, Keleena?
Well, you have to also remember that everybody is in a different space and place in their process. And if anyone thinks that they're going to get somewhere in just a few years and be there, honestly, the only way it would be a probability is if you left the earth and came back as the authentic being that you are. I mean, I've been awake my whole life, and I'm in the that age. And we've been doing this forever. And it has to do with allowance. So when we judge or get triggered by something that's said like that, that means there's a lot of work to do. That's what it's showing you, because it's a reaction, not an action, if that makes sense. We cannot go from A to Z and skip everything in between. You've got to go through every hurdle, every bump, every obstacle, every challenge that's going to be presented. And lucky for a lot of you now, we're in an accelerated mode. It's going to be even more accelerated now that we're gliding into this Aquarian age more, since Pluto left Capricorn. This is going to be a powerful, accelerated time for everyone to really focus on their healing, because it will happen faster, because those of us that have been doing this for 40, 50, 60, 70 years have left this openness for all of you to make it easier,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. And there's no judging who has more experience or who doesn't. We're all kind of meeting each other, and that need. It's like the timelines have collapsed into a new blank slate, and it's kind of like we're all building from the same foundation. Some people are sprinters, some people are long distance runners, and in between. And we're all doing our individuated light journey. And one's not better than the other.
No, everyone's a
It's
piece
all,
to the puzzle.
thank you. Everyone's a piece of the puzzle. Um, Y'all, the special offer, again, the link's in the chat box on the replay. Click on the special offer button. Watching on social media, find the link in the comments box. It's $111, 2 payments. It's more of this, and it's only Keleena, so you're going to get blasted. Keleena. And of course, the guides, whoever's coming in, which is wonderful. Keleena, I want to ask you if there's something here that the guides want to end with. But before we go there, I'm guided to ask Alyssa to ask her question. Welcome, Alyssa. Did you find your unmute button there? I'll help you find it. Hold on a second. Boom.
Thank you. Hi, John. Hi, Keleena.
Hello.
Thank you for taking my question. I just wanted to see if my guides will show you why I came down here this lifetime.
That's a question everybody always asks. I want to ask you a question first. How do you feel being here on the earth?
I'm excited to be here. I feel like there's lots that has been happening with spirit, and I have faith and trust that something is definitely unfolding. But I find myself coming back and just saying, well, what is it that my higher self wanted me to come down here to do? What was it that I wanted to experience? What is that highest timeline? And I believe that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I think that's just our human self just wants to know and just kind of see. And
Because your ego thinks it's not enough. But didn't you just answer your own question?
Mhm.
that I'm excited to be here.
Yes, because what that is that's a frequency and a vibration. And a lot of you came in to hold that frequency and vibration, and you hold it with that highest excitement and that joy, right? And
Yes.
remember, when I say things and then I start laughing, it's that joy, it's that love, and it's also the knowing that everything's an illusion.
Yeah.
So when we can see everything from the higher perspective, things start to shift in our realities.
Mm.
Yeah. But your ego is the one that's knocking on the door. That's the little devil ego, and then you got the angel on the shoulder. That's your authentic self. And I always go, okay, bye-bye. Let's move that in here and trust. But you answered your own question. That's why I asked you the question.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Hey,
thank
Alyssa,
you. Yes.
where does your higher self reside? Where is it?
In my heart.
Oh, so you don't have to go out to ask it the question. You can
No, and I
reside in
know,
the question.
I
Yeah.
do know the answers are definitely within. But when we get this opportunity to speak to you guys, or of course our human, the little devil comes back and goes, just ask, let's see what they say.
I do the same thing also, but what I wanted to do is direct all of us and remind myself also that sometimes we want to have the understanding of our higher self, and when we go outside because we think it's higher, it's in another place. And if we can remember who we are, it's the beginning of the call.
Yeah.
Remember that higher self is here. Oh, let me ask higher self. He's right here. She's right here.
Yeah.
It is right here. It's like, let me just be, and let me have the patience to listen. Let me slow down to receive.
And it's almost like they don't want to show it to you because they already know it's like destiny, it's going to unfold, and it's just like enjoy the process of it unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the joy of it, it's like, even I went outside and ate a bowl of noodles under the sun, and I just couldn't help but keep thanking spirit for this experience. And I think
Mm.
that's what I'm here for, is these little moments, because I do know the unfolding will take place when it's meant to.
Exactly. And you are in the big unfolding already. It's happening as you're speaking. But I also am getting for you to journal. Are you journaling?
No, I'm not, but I definitely will start.
Because they keep putting it right in front of you and journal on you. So you need
Mm.
to journal.
Is it the automatic writing? Because sometimes when I start, like if I do start writing, my hand will just kind of start,
Let it
and then
flow.
they'll let it like, hello, what are you doing? Yes. So,
Do you
okay.
see they're
Yeah.
trying to give you that and you're not doing it? And that's why I always
Right.
say people get this information of things to do and then they shelf it. I'll just
Right.
put it over here for later. I'm not going to do that. That's why they're like, tell her to
Mm.
journal. Because your answer is going to come through that.
Thank you. Thank you. I will do that. Thank you so much. Thank you, John and Keleena. Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Keleena, is there anything that they want to share before we end the call? Are we good?
They always want to talk.
I need
I'm
to
like, I'm going to adjust myself because I am like vibrating like crazy.
y'all, as Alina oh my God, Alina, it's you and Alyssa together. As Keleena is tuning in and just settling, the link for the special offers in the chat box. We'll be running the replay all weekend long. We'll send out the link a little bit later. Replays can always be accessed at beyondtheordinaryshow.com/replay.
Close your eyes and receive. And allow the blue light of Sirius to envelop you. And feel the water, the vibration, and the love of all that you are. Sigh. Sham Shakum Sham Karaste Sai. Shapuvane Shafuka Allow yourself to flow in the frequency of all that is, in love or in joy, as one forgives and transcends the time-space reality that no longer serves. Sapirochant bukroshte, marachant menekia, aya, afiane. We leave you in love and joy and peace in your heart as the creator beings that you are. And breathe. And I'm hearing new reality. Oh, I'm super high.
I can't believe I have to write an email and get things out after this. I don't know how I'll be able to function, but I'll try.
Those are the whales coming in.
Yeah, I could feel them. Sirius B.
I felt like the ocean.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
embody the way that you transmit it and just so valiantly show up for all of us in the wisdom. Thank you for your unconditional forgiveness and love. Mm.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your being. Without John, we wouldn't all be reaching everyone.
Not in this one, not in this call. Thank you all. It's a blessing to be with all of you here. Thank you for who you be, who you're becoming, and for you have been. What a blessing, blessing, blessing. I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you all on the next call. Bye, Keleena. Thank you.